great occasion for us. It's taken 100 years to get here. Thank you very much for being part of our journey. I must not reminisce too much, but I could. When I arrived in Reading in the summer of 1972, I would never have imagined being here, giving a welcome to you on the 100-year Centenary past as a law firm of this region. I didn't need to stay more than a couple of years. I was going to get trained and move on. My brief prior to Reading did not encourage me to think it was a place to live. However, I was deeply impressed by the quality and character of the lawyers I met at what was then our firm at Clarkslegal. And I wanted to trade with these people. I never regretted that. I did actually also favour Reading for the reason that I thought my career would be in crime and divorce. That's what I wanted to do, and I did a little research and discovered Reading had a good crime rate, a famous prison, a busy Crown Court, and the divorce rate was definitely enough to keep me busy. And that proved true. However, over a few years, my interests did change. I learned the hard way how to make a living, and what also happened was that Reading changed. And it's an interesting thing to be part of. Some of you here will have been part of that change. A lot went on in Reading in the 70s and 80s. The town grew significantly. Companies in it grew significantly. The university grew significantly. People began to come here. There are accountants here tonight. And my measure of whether a place is successful is when the accountants stop arriving. That happened to Reading in the 70s. And indeed, I quickly realised it was a place to stay. And I still say to this day, that if I had to begin again and work out a strategy of where to have the Clarkslegal head office, it would be Reading. One of the things also we've seen is a change in the business environment, the social environment. You know, one of the things that's happened to Reading is, of course, a lot of businesses left and new businesses have arrived. Some of you here will remember how you would have the flavour of beer and biscuits across the town when we went out to walk. We've lost the old industries, but of course we gained many, many new ones. So the social history of the town is reflected in the social history of a firm like ours, which very much reflects its clients. I especially mentioned tonight at Reading University. Professor Stephen Mythen is speaking here shortly. Stephen, where's Stephen? And I mentioned university because, of course, has a very, very long relationship. We're going back around half a century of this firm's relationship with Reading University. We're very proud of that. And I said to Steve tonight, it's one of the reasons I stayed in Reading. The pleasure of working with the university was outstanding. To sit tight and work together. Certainly, the university has grown, and we've been delighted to grow with it in terms of becoming a world-leading institution. Indeed, also Steve knows, because he's heard it before, that one of my very first tasks on arrival in Reading was to help to evict the revolting students from the university administration. The inhabited youngsters of the university, I used to work revolting in the sense of rioting. Now, clearly, we have very much to be grateful for over 100 years of history. It's very uncommon these days to find professional firms which have, in fact, endured, persevered, and thrived after 100 years of history and grown without merger or serious change. Our organic growth has been good for us. We like it, it's worked well. Also, one of the things I value now, looking back over 40 years of practice here at Reading, is the continuity I see, because often people do not realise the connections between one piece of business and another. The truth is it's all generally connected. Those of you who have been in business a long time will know this. And each link in the chain can be traced by those who know it. And very often, of course, it's just down to good work being done, which others speak about. And that's been the secret, the only secret, really, of success. Doing good work that others will recommend you for. And each professional firm, I'm sure, will echo straight away that that is the secret, the only real secret of success. And so what you do is you build that reputation by long years of hard work. From when I first arrived at Reading, you weren't allowed to market yourselves, you couldn't advertise. It wasn't permitted. You only did good work and hope that others would recommend you for doing it. Now, one thing also I just want to say is that, over 100 years, an awful lot has changed. It's very humbling to be part of a 100-year history. And even my modest 40 years or so of that is just part of the story. And one of my earliest experiences was meeting some people who used to work at this law firm back in the 1930s and realising how much had gone on before I came on the scene. We all here tonight celebrate not just what happens today, what others have done before. Arthur Clarke founded the firm in 1913, but others have worked in it progressively over the decades since and built up that reputation that we trade on today. Reputations are hard won. Professional work is a long business, and each time you do a job for someone, you add to that reputation. That's a key message for all of us in our practice. We also value many of the wonderful clients who come to us and help us to grow and learn with them. Particularly mention companies like BMW, which are a big part of my life in the 1980s when we were established in Britain. And I always say today, one of the things that happen to you is that the client says they want to trust you with their work and they know that you are learning on the job. But they want you to do it. And I remember that from BMW soon after 1980 when I was told, we want you to do the work, what we'd like you to do is learn to do what we need, and then we can give you all that work. That's exactly what we did, and became motor industry experts on the back of BMW trusting us with their business. Also, one of the things I observed is that we could speak ages here tonight about what's changed, but while the machinery of this life has changed, the technology we use has changed. I was saying just now, ultimately, it's the same service we give today as we gave 40 years ago. Indeed, if Arthur Clarke were here tonight, he probably stood in this room 100 years ago. If he were here tonight, he would be providing the same sort of service, the same personal client service that we aim to give today. The tools have changed, but the ultimate relationship of solicitor and client is the same. And I think that is the enduring value that we all persevere with. It's the relationship of trust which we build up and retain and are jealous of. So what we've had tonight is a very long journey so far, yet while we've had a long journey, I emphasise we're only just beginning. And in my book, there's always new worlds to conquer, new things to do, and we have so much to do. Britain is part of a very big world. We're delighted to be working in some of the countries in that very big world today. But along with the University of Reading, our international dimension is growing all the time. Not only are we part of one of the world's largest legal networks, which we've been founding members of for some 30 years now, but also working with the Commonwealth to build the Commonwealth Environment Investment Platform across Commonwealth countries to enable sharing of environmental technologies and business in that sector. These are wonderful things to be engaged with. We have a lot to achieve, and so in a sense, the last 100 years we've just been building a platform to work for. Now, here tonight, I must stop there because I really could go on forever. I'm going to ask Professor Stephen Lyman to come up and say a few words on behalf of the University of Reading. May I just say, Stephen Lyman is not only Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University responsible for international development relations of the University, but happens to be world authority in history. So who better to talk about Centenary? Thank you, Steve.